Hey everybody, welcome to the Great Big Story YouTube channel. This is Jillian.
Hi, this is Dave.
Hi. Let's get to the show.
In today's episode, we're going to show you 4 great big stories that's all about the sky.
For our first story, we're going to meet a young woman who is doing a new take on skydiving indoors.
My way of expressing myself has always been physical. My mom told me since I was little, it's like if I would be angry or happy or whatever, you would see it in my body language. For me, having a new way of challenging my body, a new way of pushing the limits of what my body can do, that was the thing that really got me hooked in flying. My name is Inka Tito, and I'm a dancer and a world champion indoor skydiver. I started dancing when I was 3 years old, and as long as I remember, I've been dancing. When indoor skydiving came along, I found something for the first time that I was more passionate about than I ever was about dancing. Suddenly I realized I've just found a new way of dancing. It's just on a different kind of dance floor. The discipline that I compete in is called freestyle, but when I'm speaking about my flying overall, I prefer to use the term air dancing, because it's not just about competing and that set discipline. It's about creating something new and exploring the limits of what we can do in flying. And I would like to take flying from being a sport towards being a form of performing arts. Flying for sure is way harder than it looks like. The wind speeds can go up to 180 miles an hour. You have to be strong, you have to be flexible. A lot of the body positions look easy, but they actually require a lot to perform them nicely. So a split, for example. It might look like I'm just resting in that flexible body position, but I'm actually all the time pushing against the airflow to have control. I don't always like the use of the word talented, because it makes it sound like only if you have that talent before you even start flying, you're gonna get good. I've always been a hard worker myself. So if I really wanna get good at something, I'm gonna do whatever it takes. It just depends on how much you want it.
Hey Jillian, have you ever thought about living in a plane?
No.
Well, this next guy has, and then he actually did it. Let's meet him.
Jetliners are basically flying homes. It's a sealed pressure canister. It's incredibly strong. It will last practically forever. I'm Bruce Campbell, and you're inside the cockpit area of my 727 home. I can appreciate that some folks might feel a bit isolated, or that it might simply strike them as an unusual living environment. But for me, it's always felt completely natural. My entry is via the aft air stairs, which are retractable and are retracted whenever I leave for an extended time. The aft area of the aircraft now is my living space. My very primitive shower is located there. The 2 natural aft lavatories are both functional. Sleeping quarters are there in the form of a simple futon sofa and a bench where I spend lots of time embellishing elements of the aircraft. Jetliners retire at the rate of about 3 per day. For the most part, I think we shred them. And then we spin around 180 degrees and make a home after having just shredded an aerospace class home-size structure. If you were an extraterrestrial looking down on this behavior, you'd wonder whether this species has all its marbles in place or not. People have asked me whether it crashed here, and I simply restored the wreck. That's an odd thing to hear. It's completely impractical. Next time you're in a jetliner, close your eyes for a moment. In your mind, remove all the seats and all the other people, and then open your eyes with that vision and consider the expanse of the living room. It's a good environment, it really is.
Dave,
Yeah?
have you ever built a plane?
Yeah.
No, that doesn't count. I want you to meet this guy named Ivo who built his own DIY plane and he used it to escape the Iron Curtain.
This here is a darkling beetle. It lives out here in the vast desert of northwest Utah. And he's on the move. Where to? I don't have a clue. But I can tell you about the town he's leaving behind. Welcome to Lucin, Utah. There's abandoned cars, weeds. Once in a while, a train will pass through. Yup, there's not a whole lot here in Lucin. Well, except for this man. But who is this man? This man who lives in an airplane hangar, who flies a Cessna to get to his closest friends. Who is this man? This man who lives in the middle of nowhere, who lives 25 miles from this bar with this man inside, who owns a bunch of guns, works with machines and made this thing. Who is this man?
My name is Ivo Zdarsky, and this is where I live.
As you've gathered, this man isn't from around Lucin. He grew up in Czechoslovakia before the fall of the USSR. He didn't like it much.
It's kind of hard to do anything. The communists were in power there. You cannot have your own business. It's kind of difficult to fly there, so I kind of didn't feel like I could be myself.
He really wanted to leave the country, but it wasn't easy.
There was an Iron Curtain. They have a machine gun towers and barbed wire to keep you in. They like to keep you.
So when he was 24, he escaped the country the only way he knew how, by flying across the border in his self-built airplane.
So I drove up close to the border between Austria, and sometime at 3 o'clock in the morning I took off and I just glided over to Austria and I found myself at Vienna International Airport and I landed there. And then I just showed them my expired passport and I asked for asylum.
And the world took notice.
I guess they had never seen anything like that before, so I think they liked it. I liked it.
Ivo then moved to Los Angeles and built up a successful airplane propeller business. But even LA couldn't fit his big ideas.
I kinda needed a place to test my other idea, which is how to do it in the middle of the city. That's how I found this place in Utah. It was for sale, so I bought it. And I've been here for 8 years.
And what was Ivo's big idea that brought him to Lucin? Well, it's behind that door over there. Inside sits an 8-propeller flying machine, able to lift off and land vertically. It's basically an airplane-helicopter hybrid of sorts. It's kind of funny looking, but the damn thing actually flies. So what is Ivo's next big project? A solar-powered aircraft? Another major innovation in propeller design? Some kind of new way to fly?
The next big one is that spear gun idea, which actually it works better than I thought. That doesn't always work that way. Sometimes I get really bad ideas.
Even while inventing new spear guns and the like, Ivo still finds the time to get out of the house. That's him over there, hiking to the top of that mountain. Just him, nature, and his customized rifle.
I take the gun with me because of the mountain lions.
However treacherous the hike, it's always worth it. You get a good view of Lucin. It actually looks pretty nice from here, don't it? I wonder why that darkling beetle ever left. Maybe Lucin wasn't right for the little guy. Maybe it's escaping to the next place where it can be itself. For Ivo, though, looks like this might be his last stop.
And I realized that this is what I always wanted. I kept escaping until I escaped to Lucin, and now I don't have anywhere else to escape. Like, man is stuck here.
I don't know about you guys, but Ivo's whole helicopter plane combo that he built kind of looked like a drone to me.
Well, that's fitting because our next story is about a father-son drone racing duo.
If people could understand that this is akin to the scariest thing you've ever done, then they'll start to understand why we're so addicted to it. When I put the goggles on, the first thing I'm doing is trying to calm down. It totally puts you inside the drone. You just forget where you are. I'm Conrad Miller, also known as Faraway, and I'm a drone racer. I started in September 2014, and that was like the ground floor. Of all the activities I've partaken in, motorcycles and flying drones are on the same level in terms of intensity. It's cool when you have a hobby and you can do it and you love it, but when you can share it with your kids, I mean, that's just like what it's all about, I think. Okay, so the props are good. Flying and racing with Sorrel has just been a pure joy. He's a good kid and he's a talented kid. And I think it comes easy to any kid like that because they don't feel the pressure that adults do. Good landing.
Coming in hot.
This is harder than anything else I've done. And it's because when your nerves go, your fine motor skills go. Kids don't care, they're just having fun. And they just learn much faster. The course in LA is at the Hawthorne Mall, which is abandoned. It's been abandoned since the 80s, I believe. And it looks like a place where you would go if there was a zombie apocalypse. When I go into races, I feel like I put a lot of pressure on myself to win. You know, I want all of my practice and all of my time flying to show for something. I was flying fine, I wasn't nervous, but I was just a little too high and crashed.
You like almost hit the ceiling. You're like,
Everybody is just working really hard to be the best at it. And it's just gonna get tougher and tougher. I take that 180 good.
Yeah, you did.
Flying with Sorrel now, it kind of gives me an opportunity to look at it from a different perspective because I can coach him. You ready? Mm-hmm. Go for it. He's aware enough to know that he gets to do these things that most kids don't get to do. He's flying a drone, which is this groundbreaking thing.
Dang it! We hit each other.
You hit me! What are you talking about, we hit each other? You know, as parents, we don't always feel like we do enough. I brought him into drone racing and he knows he's lucky and he knows he's fortunate. Yeah, kiddo, you're going pretty quick. And you know, he's grateful for everything that he gets.
Thanks for watching these 4 great big stories with us. I hope you had fun flying around with us.
Click the horse to subscribe, leave a message down below, and we'll see you next time.